Hi guys, it's Katie and I thought I'd do a garden update. It's May 14th and it's really beautiful out. We had a couple 90-degree days, we had quite a few 80-degree days in the last couple of days. Yesterday was only in the 60s and then today is going to be about mid-70s, so about perfect weather for the garden. There's my poor dog. He had surgery and he's got an appointment today, so I think hopefully he gets his cone off today. He's had it on for a while. But let's see, we got the grapevines over here doing well. Got little baby grapes forming on them. Let's see, there's a few strawberry plants here that had red strawberries on them. The strawberry plants are everywhere. My husband just put them kind of everywhere. And then here, this used to be my compost pile. And there's some volunteer sunflowers in here. So I really wanted to plant sunflowers, but I never got around to it. So I'm glad that they kind of popped up on their own. And somebody was asking about my compost setup. And I don't know, I don't really have much to say about it. It's kind of disgusting looking because it's rotting food. I don't turn it, so it's kind of gross. So, but I have this as just chicken wire and it's held up by these posts that I got at the hardware store. And it does okay. It contains things, especially leaves, otherwise they just blow around if you just pile them up. But I had the compost pile here and a bunch of roots were growing into it. If you can see back there, there's some English ivy and it just goes everywhere. And the roots go into the compost and it makes it really hard to turn, and I end up not using it because I don't want the English ivy in the garden. So really my compost is just a way to dispose of green waste. And then I usually, for my garden, the compost I use for my garden, I buy at the county recycling center. So I'll give you a look at my husband's garden since I'm down here. His asparagus came up just a little bit. We still haven't planted the crowns yet, but we're just letting it go still. He's got some lettuce in the garden that he didn't plant, and there's some over there too. So I'm thinking that was those ants that stole my seeds brought them down here. So one way or another we got some lettuce. There's another volunteer sunflower. Sorry about that, I got interrupted. But what I was saying is that I got peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants, a whole bunch of 4-packs, and I had way too many for my garden, so I put some in here. And the tomatoes are doing a lot better than the peppers. So it's still some cooler temperatures, and I probably shouldn't have put them out so early, but I didn't want them to die. Here's some more lettuce. And there's a kale back there, which, like right there. I don't remember planting that kale. So I don't know, mysterious things are happening in the garden this year. So up here, the lettuce is doing awesome once it finally was allowed to germinate. The first pack of seeds that the ants carried away was a multi-pack, and then I planted black-seeded Simpson, which is what most of this is. So there's just a few of these other types of lettuce, but the black-seeded Simpson's a really nice lettuce. So there's the Swiss chards here, 3 here, and then over here, the Swiss chard that overwintered has bolted. My radishes have bolted, and I don't know why. It's not been that hot. And then I think there must be a bird's nest right above us in this tree because there is a lot of bird poop here. But there's one pepper plant here, and I just threw all the peppers and tomatoes and eggplants and the tomatillos that I bought. I just put them wherever I could find space, and I did it really quickly, so I don't exactly know what's what anymore. I mean, that's obviously a pepper, but I don't know if it's jalapeno or poblano or sweet bell pepper. Lettuce is awesome, and I would be starting to pick this, but I just bought a bunch of lettuce at the farmer's market. So I haven't been eating this yet, but soon. And then here is eggplants. I got the long skinny ones and the big fat round ones. And then the pepper plant's still very small, and the tomato plants are really taking off despite the cooler temperatures. And there's even some blossoms and one little tomato there. This must be a cherry tomato. Then some marigolds, and then I threw the compost on top of where the garlic was, and I thought it would come back, but I think I must have killed it. Oh well. There's the lettuce transplants I got. Also would be eating off of this if I didn't have a ton of lettuce in my fridge. And then the Swiss chard back there. I'm gonna start eating off of this soon because it is looking good. Bay plant is dead. And over here, this bed probably has way too many plants in it, but what are you gonna do? These are the tomatillos. There are some blossoms and then some fruiting already. Bless you. And then tomatoes there. I need to get cages or some sort of setup going. I had some cages, but they're showing some wear after a few years, so I need to get new cages or figure something out. This tomato is doing really well. It's a cherry tomato too, I'm guessing, just because there are clusters of blossoms. And there's also a little fruit here. Actually, this might be a Roma tomato. And then the broccoli rabe one of them had an infestation of harlequin beetles, but I picked them off and they haven't seemed to come back. So you can see the damage that they did, but the newer leaves don't show any damage, and I haven't seen any for a while. So hopefully we don't see that again. All these tomato plants are doing awesome. Garlic is still hanging out. Seems like it's farther behind than I remember it from years past, but just gonna let it go. Eggplant. And then I have some volunteer dill here, which I'm really excited about because I want dill to make some dilly beans or some dilly carrots. So I'm glad to have that. Another tomato plant. I thought there was fruit on this one as well, but I don't see it at the moment. More garlic. Apple tree is doing really well. I didn't have any blossoms this year, so I guess I'm not going to get fruit. And then this is exciting news, is the fig tree is sprouting. So we have 3 fig trees. 2 of them have already started to sprout. And then let's see, the hops are doing well, kind of going gangbusters and already going up there. The other one never came up last year and it's still not up. There's some grapevines here, and then this is the Concord grape. Don't see any grapes on it. And then here's the crazy strawberry bed. You can see, I don't think there's any red strawberries here yet, but there's got to be thousands of strawberries in here. So when they start to ripen, we're gonna have to deal with slugs. So hopefully we get some of these. Let's see if I can find another big cluster. There's a bunch right there too. These strawberries are insane. Hopefully the wind isn't picking up my microphone. I lost my little windshield for my microphone. This is the other fig tree that has come up. And then, all right, so that's everything except for, I'll show you the rhubarb and the horseradish that has gone to seed. I was talking about it in the last video. So I haven't taken these stalks off, but that's how tall those flower stalks get. And the horseradish is also, this is actually rhubarb. It just has fallen over. But the horseradish has also gone to seed. And the mint bed, crazy as usual. And then I'll just insert a few clips from out front because it's looking really nice in the herb garden as well. So here's the herb garden. Thyme, sage, and oregano. I had another sage here, but I think I cut it back too far. I might have killed it. And then I have another tomato plant here. I gotta put this in. This is a black creme. This is my favorite tomato variety. Thyme, this oregano is so beautiful. I've harvested twice so far, so I'm gonna have a nice amount of dried oregano. Parsley is going crazy, and see, it's starting to bolt, but I just cut those off, use them, and I might dry some. I haven't dried parsley before, but I did to make the Good Season salad dressing mix, and it turned out really well, a lot better than I thought it would, so I might dry some of this. Then more thyme, and then my chives are blossoming. It's really pretty. So that's what the garden looks like for May. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching.